If you've been trying to grow sweet potatoes, but you just can't get the hang of starting sweet potato slips, yeah, I've been there. The water glass method is like really messy. Cutting and putting pieces of sweet potato in the ground gives you like a really terrible yield. So today I'm going to share with you my super simple, super lazy way of getting a ton of sweet potato slips from one store-bought sweet potato. Welcome back, friend. For those who are new here, I am Patrina with Homegrown Florida, and I teach people how to grow food in their own backyard. And today we're talking all about sweet potatoes. But what exactly are sweet potatoes and why do they have to be grown from slips? A lot of people think that sweet potatoes and white potatoes are in the same family. They are not. White potatoes are more like a nightshade family and sweet potatoes are more like a morning glory family. So they're two totally different families. They just kind of look the same. And they kind of, I don't think they taste the same, but a lot of people get them mixed up in terms of plant species. And they think that you can grow sweet potatoes like you can grow white potatoes, oops, that's a B, by taking pieces of the sweet potato like you would white potatoes. However, it does work a little bit, right? It will actually grow a plant and that plant will produce, but it's not going to produce a lot because that's not really the way that they should be grown. Sweet potatoes are actually grown from slips. So what happens is a sweet potato, this guy right here, puts off a bunch of sprouts. Those sprouts turn into what's called slips. Usually in nature, these slips will spread out and vine away from this sweet potato. And then it'll take root at different places, and that's where the sweet potatoes grow. They don't actually grow where they sprout from. I know, it's odd. What we do, just to make it a little bit easier, is instead of allowing just to vine out everywhere and be really efficient with our space, we break those slips off. I put them in water. You could plant them directly. I'm going to show you all that. And these then get planted, and each one of these creates a plant, and that plant then produces the sweet potatoes underneath the plant. So the first step in growing sweet potatoes is to start slips. So get yourself a store-bought sweet potato. Organic is best. And the reason why that is a lot of potatoes and root vegetables in the grocery store are sprayed with a sprout inhibitor to keep them fresher longer on the shelf. Organic ones are not. So you don't have to worry about that sprout inhibitor with an organic potato. If you have no choice and there's absolutely no organic potatoes that you can get your hand on, you can get a regular conventionally grown potato with the sprout inhibitor. You're going to want to wash and dry the potato really, really well. Otherwise it's going to rot when you put it in the ground. And you might be able to get some slips from it. It's not going to be as effective as an organic potato. Look at this. I mean, this is a crazy amount of sweet potato slips, but you will get some. The first step that I do is I actually bury a sweet potato halfway into the dirt. And as you can see here, I actually already have some sprouts. Here's another example of my sweet potato that I buried and one of the first sprouts. So bury it on its side with some of it showing out the top and then water it in. Don't excessively water because it will cause them to rot. Just water like maybe once a week. Let the rain water it. It really doesn't need a lot of help at this point. It just needs to kind of sit there in a little bit of moist soil. Now, if you can't do this outside in your garden for some reason, you don't have the space, you can do this in a pot. I do it a lot in a pot. So you just put the potato in the pot. Try to find like a wide pot. Probably the easiest things I've ever seen is like pie plates or like the throwaway lasagna pans. Put them in those and that'll work as well. Just poke a few little holes in the bottom of that so that the water can drain out so it's not sitting in like super wet soil. It's gonna take a while for these slips to form like this. It takes between anywhere from 4 weeks to 8 weeks. So you gotta have a lot of patience. But once they start putting on the slips or those green vines, you can start taking those off and then rooting them. I personally like clipping them off rather than breaking them off because when you break them off, it won't regrow a new one from that same spot. It usually needs to go somewhere else. But when you clip them off, it creates branching and then they push off in different directions. You get like double the amount. So I've started moving to clipping them off. Then what I do is I just put them in, like I have them in this quart-sized mason jar with some water, and I just stick them in here for anywhere from 3 to 5 days. I'm really just looking for once they start to form roots. You can see a ton of roots here. These are ready to plant. Now, if you wanted to skip this step, it is completely okay to do that. Some people just like to plant them I do that on occasion once I feel like I've gotten enough of them and I'm not like super critical that they actually be perfect. I will just start planting them because at that point, like if it doesn't make it, oh well, if it does, cool. You know, but in this beginning stage, I'm like, I really want to make sure that I have enough sweet potatoes for my garden. So I always make sure that they have roots formed. If you plant them directly, you do kind of run the risk that if you're not kind of babying them, watering them every day, checking them, if it's too hot, if it's too drought, like they do get a little dramatic. Most of the time they do bounce back from that, but I have had occasions where they don't. I planted a whole bed that way once and I had like 3 of them take. And a whole bed would be 32. So 3 of them is a really poor number for that method. Now, some people have a lot better yield with that, or they have a lot better experience. I wonder if it's in a more shaded bed. I wonder if they have, a system where they water every single day. I'm a little bit more lazy, guys. I feel like just throwing them in a glass of water and putting them in a shady spot. I just put them underneath my patio covering and I just wait. I wait until I see roots. I don't even change the water or anything. Like, I'm talking super lazy here. We're throwing a potato in some soil and then once they sprout, then we're cutting those off and putting them in water. That's all we're doing. Now there's actually even a more lazy way to start slips if you don't want to go through the planting the potato and cutting them off and rooting them. Instead, you can buy them. I want to prepare you what these look like. So these are sweet potato slips that I just got from Haas. I love Haas. I got my strawberries from them and you guys saw how well those did. I got my onions and those were crazy. They did so well. I got some brassica plants from them. These are probably the most not great looking things that I've gotten from them. Now, with that being said, sweet potato slips can look really, really bad. They can look like all of the greens are gone. They're just like these little sticks. And as long as they're still like firm, these are all firm. There's no mushiness, there's no mold or anything like that. It's just their little leaves are all kind of dying on the top. That is not a big deal. Sweet potato slips are super, super resilient. Like these guys right here, they are probably gonna start sprouting roots within the next few days. I'll hopefully be able to update this video before it goes live with a picture of them now so that you can see that they will have sprouted roots. Now the leaves are gonna take a little bit longer. They're gonna take like 4, maybe, I don't know, 2 to 4 weeks to start putting on new leaves. No big deal. As long as they have roots, they're still alive, I could plant them. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if they have leaves. And it doesn't really matter that they look this bad. Now, this is the really simple way. If you don't want to start those slips, you don't want to deal with, an organic sweet potato, all that stuff, you can just buy the slips. I'll put the link down below to Haas so that you can check them out. This one, I'm doing a new variety. That's one of the reasons why I picked them instead of just going with the store-bought. I wanted to grow, I can't even pronounce it. I'll put it on the screen right here. But it is a purple potato on the outside, but it's white on the inside. And it's less sweet. And why would I want that? It's a sweet potato. Because I want, a opportunity to grow something that grows really well here, but tastes like a regular potato. I have some potatoes that I'm ready to harvest here in just about, I don't know, a few more weeks that are white potatoes, but I generally can't store them very long in the house, and I generally just don't grow the excess amount that I grow when it comes to sweet potatoes. So finding a sweet potato that's less sweet that can actually be a replacement for white potatoes is on my list. So before we start getting planting, I need to clean out this bed. I have some onions in here. A lot of them actually started to flower. So I know that they're just not going to keep that long. And if I leave them in here, they're starting to show the signs. There is a few in here that haven't bolted yet, and they're the white onion. They're taking a little bit longer. They're starting to bulb, but they're not to full size. I'm going to leave a couple of those in here, but I'm going to take all the ones that had bolting going on. Besides that, I have a lot of weeds, carrots, and believe it or not, some volunteer sweet potatoes. We're going to clip those up and put those in another bed. Not a bad harvest before we even get started. So I got all the weeds out. The next step is we are going to till up the ground a little bit. Then we're going to water it in super, super deep because we are having one of the most historic droughts ever. And so the ground is very, very dry, and the sweet potatoes aren't going to love that. And then we're going to top it with a bunch of mulch, a lot of leaf clippings. So let's get to that. I know it looks like a lot, and it is a lot, but it's really, really hot, and that's how thick you need to make your mulch. Now, these leaves are very light, so a wind's going to come through, it's going to blow them. I could have crushed them, or I could have ran them over with a lawnmower. I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to make them wet, and that'll make them heavier. It is hot. We're having to take breaks every couple of minutes. Summer is here, you guys. Summer is here. And if you want to learn more about growing different kinds of vegetables in this very hot climate, you're definitely going to want to check out my book, The Homegrown Florida Gardening Guide. We are working today on chapter sweet potato. So we already walked through all the growing instructions, how to do slips. The next step is planting them, how much water, how much fertilizer, all the prep for the bed, pest, disease management, and then the part that you're not going to want to miss is going to be how and when to harvest, how to cure your sweet potatoes, everything you ever wanted to know, plus 29 other vegetables, so a total of 30 vegetables of how to grow them here in Florida. You can get this at my website, homegrownfloridagarden.com. I feel like it's taken me hours to get to this point, getting this bed all ready, but we are there now, and so we can get these guys planted. I just pulled them out of my little jar of water, and we're gonna just separate one. I'm going to find one of my sprinkler heads right here because I want this to be closest to the sprinkler as possible. And I'm going to come in at an angle. And then I'm going to try to get this whole piece underneath the ground as deep as I possibly can and then cover it up. And it's okay if some of the leaves get covered. That's absolutely fine. I want to get them at least 12 inches apart. Now, if you wanted to not grow your sweet potatoes in ground and instead grow them in a container, I have done that for multiple years. I've been growing them in my green stock container and they do pretty well. Now, let me just preface that you are not going to get the same sweet potatoes or the volume or the size that you would get from an in-ground garden, but you are going to get a good harvest. In 2 square feet, which is what my green stock takes up, it gave me, I believe it was I can't even remember. It was somewhere between 12 and 25. If you guys remember, head down in the comments and let me know. I'd have to go back and rewatch all those videos. I've done it for a couple of years. I feel like it's in the 20 range. But still, even if it's in the 10-pound range, that's still a lot, especially if all you have is a container growing space and you don't have in-ground space. If you don't have raised beds, remember guys, you can grow these in Florida sandy soil. They don't mind crappy soil. You saw, I didn't add anything to my beds. They are, I do put compost in my beds and I do amend them yearly according to my soil test. But I didn't put anything special down for them. In fact, I'm kind of hoping that most of the nutrients have been used up so that way, they kind of live in the crappy soil that they like to live in. So from here, we're just going to water these in probably every single day. With how hot it is, I'm going to leave my hose out and I'm going to water them as often as I can think about it until I start to see them pretty much standing up on their own without wilting during the day. That means the roots took. Especially if you see another new leaf growing on some of these guys, that's another way to know that they took. And then from there, you just let the rain water them. Maybe add a little bit of supplemental water until our rains start. Because right now, my rains have not started. It is very dry. But for these first couple days, I'm going to water them in every day. Other than that, I'm not feeding them. I'm not treating them for pests. I'm not treating them for disease. They don't get the hydrogen peroxide. These poor things are just left to survive on their own, and they are going to do great. And that soil is going to be so amazing. By the time the sweet potatoes are done growing and they've done their thing where they cover the soil and the leaves have broken down, that bed is going to be perfect for fall gardening. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I am going to get inside. I'm going to get a nice cool glass of water, and I'm going to sit in the AC for an extended period of time because I am sweating and I feel very, very filthy right now. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Happy gardening.